The Raiders cutting defensive tackle Christian Wilkins. Just one season after giving him a 4-year deal, $110 million, with $57 million fully guaranteed. It's signing another $27 million or so on top of that became guaranteed earlier this year. Practical guarantee north of $80 million. Massive contract, massive investment, massive failure. Appeared in 5 games, suffered a Jones fracture in his 5th game with the Raiders, and was still injured. And look, a fight is going to play out within the confines of the collective bargaining agreement, grievance, voiding of guarantees, language of his contract. I've started on a post that has the actual language from his contract that would trigger a default and void the guarantees. That's the fight that the Bengals and Shamar Stewart are still engaged in. How are we going to shape this language? What is the impact of a default? That's going to be part of the fight. What does the contract say? What did Christian Wilkins do or not do? Is it medical? Is it something else? And when it turns nasty and when it becomes about money, companies that like to keep their money will make it about anything they can. They'll throw the kitchen sink at a guy. If they decide they don't like a guy and they're done with a guy, they will come up with anything they can. And I need to be careful here because things haven't been reported and I don't know what's been verified and I don't know what the grievances say, but I have reason to believe that it may be about more than just the injury and whether or not he needed a second surgery, whether he resisted, whatever the doctors say. There could be something else the Raiders are trying to throw at Christian Wilkins, either to leverage him into resolving this or maybe convincing an arbitrator to let them win. But, you know, as these things go, if you owe somebody, and I think the number is $35.2 million in remaining full guarantees this year and next year. If you owe that to someone and you have the right under your labor deal to stiff them and to claim that the guarantees have voided and you're going to cut them and not owe them another dime, what's their recourse? Their recourse is to try to get from you the thing that you would have paid them anyway. Okay, fine. Come and get us. If we lose, what do we owe you? What we would have owed you anyway. That's why most states have a provision on the books. I know there's one in West Virginia. I had more than a few cases over the years on behalf of individuals who, once you're gone from your workplace, whether you quit, whether you were fired, whether you retired, whatever, there's no longer an incentive to settle up with the employee on a regular basis. If somebody's showing up to work for you every day and you want them to keep working, you're going to pay them. Otherwise, at some point, they're going to say, I'm out. Once the person says, I'm out, or you say to them, get out, there's no longer an incentive to pay them. Oh, you want to come after us? Come after us. Well, most states, if not all states, have a provision that will enhance the penalties in the event that you have to go after someone to get the thing that you're owed. I'm not aware of anything like that in the CBA that would give Christian Wilkins extra as a disincentive to stiffing him. So the Raiders can just stiff him. Just stiff him. And are we right on this medical issue? I don't know. We'll stiff him, make him come get us. And maybe we'll throw some other stuff at him so we can squeeze him into taking a settlement that would be less than 100 cents on the dollar. And anything we save is gravy. Anything we do at this point, once we declare that this contract was a failure and that this commitment made by the last regime, Tom Telesco and Antonio Pierce, once we decide they never should have paid that money, made that commitment, tied our hands with guaranteed money to Christian Wilkins, anything we save under 100 cents on the dollar, that's a win. Because it could just be they decided they don't like the guy. It could be they just decided they want to move on. He doesn't fit with what we're trying to do. He doesn't fit with the culture. He doesn't fit with the defense. We just don't like him. We don't like him. And we don't want to pay him. So we'll try to not pay him. And if we lose, so what? We pay him what we would have paid him anyway. At least we tried. We'll be paying attention to it. We'll be trying to figure it all out. I've got some feelers out on what else the Raiders may be trying to do here. But remember, just because you have a fully guaranteed contract, and fully guaranteed is a misnomer. It's not fully guaranteed. It's guaranteed for skill, injury, and cap. If you cut a player for reasons other than skill, injury, and cap, in theory, you don't have to pay them. This goes back to what the Ravens did with safety Earl Thomas. They owed him money that was guaranteed for skill, injury, cap. They cut him for a different reason. That's a way around guarantee. Now, that's separate from voiding the guarantee. In this case, it's possible that the Raiders voided the guarantee and eventually cut Christian Wilkins for a reason unrelated to skill, injury, cap. So you got a double whammy there. We voided the guarantee and we cut you for a reason unrelated to the thing that your money was guaranteed for. Come get us. Come get us. And if you win, we'll owe you what we would have owed you anyway. So we'll see how that plays out. And meanwhile, while it plays out, the Raiders are going to be stuck with those cap charges, and they were stuck with them anyway. So back to the original point. Anything we save here ultimately is gravy.
Skull Nation, what's up? It's Victor here from Report Vikings, and listen, we might have a golden opportunity on our hands. The Las Vegas Raiders just released Christian Wilkins. Yeah, that Christian Wilkins, of one of the top defensive tackles in the entire league, and the guy they handed $110 million to just last offseason. And guess what? The Vikings might be in the mix to bring this dude to Minnesota. Let's talk about it. Alright, so let me set the stage here. The Raiders dropped a bomb by cutting Wilkins just 1 year after signing him to that massive 4-year deal. He only played 5 games for Vegas before an injury shut him down. Even then, he still managed 2 sacks and 17 tackles in those limited games. Now, there's drama, because the Raiders are reportedly trying to void the rest of his guaranteed money. Wilkins is officially a free agent, and let me tell you, the market is going to be hot for a guy like him. And yes, Minnesota needs to be all over this. This move makes way too much sense for us, guys. Think about it. Under Brian Flores, our defense has improved drastically, but we're still missing that true game wrecker on the interior. Christian Wilkins at 6'4", 310 pounds is exactly that. When he was healthy in Miami just 2 years ago, this man racked up 9 sacks and 65 tackles in the 2023 season. That's elite production for a DT. Imagine pairing him up with Harrison Phillips inside, letting Dallas Turner and Van Ginkel rush off the edge. Bro, we'd be a nightmare for opposing QBs. Now I know some of y'all are wondering about the money, and yeah, we're not rolling in cap space, but don't forget, with Kirk Cousins gone, we've got some flexibility. We don't need to offer Wilkins another massive $110 million deal. We could structure something smart, maybe a short-term deal with heavy incentives, or a front-loaded contract that protects us if injuries pop up again. And I truly believe Minnesota could give Wilkins exactly what he needs right now: a fresh start, a chance to lead a young defense, and a real shot to chase a title in the NFC. Let's talk real football. Wilkins isn't just a stats guy. He plays with passion, leadership, and physicality. He commands double teams, eats up blocks, and frees up edge rushers. You give Brian Flores a piece like that in the middle, and this defense could go from good to dominant. Picture this front: Wilkins and Phillips inside Dallas Turner and Van Ginkel coming off the edge, Ivan Pace Jr. flying around at linebacker, and our young secondary getting more time to make plays. Man, that's how you build a top 5 defense. But hey, enough of me. I want to hear from you. Should the Vikings make a push for Christian Wilkins? Would you feel comfortable giving him another big deal after that injury? Or do you think we should ride with the young guys like Roy and continue building slow? Drop a comment. I'm reading everything as always, and y'all know I love talking ball with Skull Nation. This could be a game-changing move for the purple and gold. And I promise you, if we land Wilkins, the entire NFC is gonna take notice. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss any updates. Free agency, trades, training camp, I'm covering it all right here on Report Vikings. Skull Vikings, let's go!